Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Adam. Adam is from San Francisco in California in the USA. So let's see what Adam has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Hello, Adam. Yes, I can. How are you? Good morning.
I'm doing well. How are you doing, William? It's great to meet you.
You too. Nice to meet you. Thanks so much for taking the time this morning for the interview. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to do this.
So tell me, how's your morning going so far? It's quite early there.
Yeah, it is early. It's 10 a.m. I'm a little sleepy, but who isn't sleepy on a Saturday morning?
Oh, thank you so much. And
Yeah, no,
do you consider yourself to be more of a day or night person?
I'm absolutely a night person. I'm a night owl. Mornings, not always the easiest for me.
Tell me, where are you from, Adam?
I live in California in San Francisco, but I'm originally from the East Coast. I grew up in New Jersey, right outside of New York City.
Oh, wow. So why the change from New Jersey to California?
My family's all in New Jersey, but I'm an engineer, and California is the best place for engineers, in my opinion. There are many other places around the world great for engineering, but in the United States, California is I guess, the booming engineering spot.
I see. And how long have you been living there for so far?
Almost 2 years, but I've lived all across the United States. So primarily New Jersey. I spent a long time in Oregon, but California is my home, and I want to stay here. It's a lot more
Amazing.
sunshine. I like the sun.
So tell me a little bit about your career as an engineer.
I started my engineering career right out of college. I did material science and engineering for undergraduate and graduate school. Then I worked at a nuclear company right out of college. It was great, but it wasn't very exciting. Then I transitioned over and worked in footwear innovation for quite some time, doing material and color chemistry. And now I do material and color chemistry at a consumer electronics company in California.
Amazing. Very good. Right. So before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself.
Ooh, something interesting. That's a tough one. I've run 12 marathons. I'm a big marathon runner. So 12 marathons, I love them. I can't wait to run some more. Yeah.
Oh, wow. 12 marathons so far. My God.
Yeah. So just for context, it's 26.2 miles. I don't know what that is. I think that's 40 kilometers. I actually
Wow.
don't know how many kilometers. I think 40, yeah, kilometers.
So tell me if you remember the first marathon that you ever run and tell me the latest one.
The first one, I was in college. I was a senior in college, and I ran it in Pennsylvania, and it was terrible. It was really hard. I think when you run a marathon, it's 40 kilometers. So like once you get to 30 kilometers, your body just is like, nope, I don't want to do this anymore. That was a surprise the first time. And then my last marathon, it gets easier every time because you know what to expect. So every marathon gets a little bit easier and more enjoyable. I love them. I think they're really fun.
When is going to be the next one lined up?
Mm. It's a little ways off. I had torn my ACL a year and a half ago. The ACL is a tendon in your knee. I used to also do a gymnastics for fun. I picked it up recreationally as an adult. Doing a front flip, I tore my ACL. So I'm still getting back to long distance running. It's going to take probably another year before I can actually run a marathon. But that's okay. I can wait.
Amazing. Adan, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Absolutely. I'm ready for this. Let's do it.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I've got here my best friend, pull up random questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Let, let's do it. Amazing. Yeah, you can dance with me. Adan, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Sounds good.
First question for you is, if you could sit down with your 13 years old self, what would you say?
Ooh, I would say enjoy the moment. I think when I was 13, I was a very academic student, a little too academic. So I'd spend a lot of time just studying, doing my schoolwork, and I would not hang out with friends when I was 13 because all I cared about was school. So I think if I could go back and be like, just have fun, enjoy the moment. School is important, but having friends and socializing is equally important.
Do you have siblings as well?
Yep, two older sisters.
Wow. So tell me a little bit about your childhood memories growing up in New Jersey. Yeah. Tell me how was, when you think about how was it?
It was okay, yes. I think everybody has different experience as a kid. My parents are very sedentary. They're not the most active people. So I think growing up, I was raised in shopping malls and bowling alleys. Would not say that's ideal for most people, but growing up in North Jersey, that was the thing. We go to bowling alleys on the weekends and then shopping malls. I would recommend that for most kids. It wasn't very active, which is ironic because I'm a very active person. But sorry, I have a little bit of a cough. I think what was fun is growing up outside of Manhattan, I would get to go into the city with my family, but again, it was more shopping malls. That was really the highlight of my childhood. But I think the thing I love the most about growing up in New Jersey is the summer. And the summer in New Jersey is very unique because it's really hot and humid, which I really like. I like hot weather. And also we have something called fireflies. Do you know what a firefly is?
It rings a bell, but I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, and it's not everywhere. And I didn't know that as a kid until I left New Jersey. Fireflies are these little bugs that light up at night and flicker little lights. And as
Ah,
a
okay.
kid, I would run around in my yard and catch fireflies. And there would be like thunderstorms and rain. And in California, we don't get thunderstorms and lightning. So it's really fun as a kid to have the thunderstorms and the rain and then go outside and catch the fireflies that would come out after the storm. That's something about my childhood that I really enjoyed. I don't know why, but it was just like relaxing. And I don't think a lot of kids get to experience running around catching fireflies. You create a little lamp, you leave it in your bedroom, and then as a kid, you forget that bugs need oxygen. So the next day you wake up and find a jar full of dead fireflies.
Oh my God. I remember those as well. Back in Brazil, I'm originally from Brazil, and I remember as well going on my school holidays. I was spent some time in the farm with my aunt and my uncle, and I remember then around like I was so fascinated to to follow them and try to catch them somehow.
Yeah, it was nice. And also you could we would always try to like count the flickers because there was a relationship between the temperature and the flicker of the fireflies, and I just thought it was fascinating. I don't know if most kids did, but I did.
Next one, let's do it. Hey Adam from California. Next question is, do you have any nicknames?
Any nicknames? Yeah, I guess when I was like a few years ago, my friends started calling me like Adam Abs or Six Pack Adam, and that seems to be the name I get a lot. So people sometimes even in text threads, socializing, they'll be like it's Six Pack Adam, which is interesting when they meet other people because they'll be like, wait, why is he called Six Pack Adam? Because like when you have clothing on, you can't tell. So then it just becomes a very common name everywhere I go now. So I'm just used to it.
And you still have the six packs?
Yeah, I still have the six pack. I think I've managed to keep it around all year round. So that's a talent I've mastered. I guess I have to keep it now. If I lose it, it's embarrassing because the nickname doesn't work.
Absolutely. You need to keep it on now forever.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see. That may be a little hard as I get older.
Next question. Before the next question, Adam, as you know, talking about fitness, tell me, as you said, back in your childhood, you have a sedentary family where they were literally, shopping and enjoy time in the mall. So tell me how fitness came into your life, how your journey started.
I think I had high anxiety as a kid, and I didn't know what anxiety was. I didn't understand the concept. I would just get very stressed about school for no, I don't know why. I was just obsessed with school. I always wanted to get A pluses. Even like elementary school, I think I got an A plus on up until eighth grade. Not necessary, but when I was a kid, I thought that was really critical. So then when I was 13, my mom took away my video games. I was obsessed with video games, but my parents didn't really help with that. So then when I was 13, my mom's like, this is ridiculous. I'm taking away all your video games. But she didn't give me anything else to do. So I was like, what do I do? So I just went outside and ran. And I was like, oh, I really like this. So then I kept running. And then I joined the cross country team. Running became really critical to me. And I really loved it. But the one thing that's bad about running is you don't build muscle. Actually, running is not great for your body to begin with. It's great because it helped me with my anxiety, but you don't really build arm muscle. And honestly, you just get runners don't have the most aesthetically ideal body frames, in my opinion. So it's like, well, I want to complement the running with some other stuff. So I started doing some strength training, started watching YouTube videos, just learned on my own. And then it just kind of became part of my lifestyle, and I really enjoy it. I feel like it's a really great way to get through stress, anxiety. It's a nice alternative to drinking. It keeps me really happy. So I tend to find that when I exercise, I have the endorphins I need to be a happy person.
How often do you train every day?
Yeah, I go to the gym every day, but I don't do anything crazy. I have a background in calisthenics and gymnastics, so most of my workouts are very body weight driven. And it's funny because when I do it at the gym, first of all, I'm a small guy. People always underestimate small people, especially when you're dressed, they can't tell. It's called a sleeper build, where you can't tell someone's fit until they're shirtless. Really ironic. So then when I go to the gym and I do the calisthenics stuff, people are always surprised because they can do a lot of pull-ups, a lot of like handstand things, ring muscle ups. And I do those as my workouts because they're fun. They keep me energized. And I feel like basic weight training is just really boring. So I like to mix in some cool exercises, try new things, challenge the body, and keep myself entertained when I'm at the gym.
Amazing. All right. Next question is, if someone offered to tell your future, would you accept it or not, and why?
Oof. I would not take my future. I think it's better to live in the moment. That's what I would tell my 13-year-old self. If you know your future, you will not live in the moment. You'll always be worried about the final endpoint. It's good to embrace for the unknown. The unknown creates a journey that you own. If you already know the ending, you don't own anything, so there's no point for existing at that point. In my mind, you want to own what you're doing. If you know the solution, you can't own the process or the journey.
I love that. It's interesting. Very good. Next question, Adam. Let's do it. Hey, next question for you is, what has been the happiest point of your life?
Oh, that's such a tough question. Oh, happiest point. I don't think I can even properly answer that. You're gonna have to give me a moment on that one. Wow, you got me.
Absolutely. And or maybe the latest one that you felt really happy for some reason.
I think the happiest moment, I have 4 patents. Patents are like where you own a technology, and a patent is where you like get credit for it. I have 4, but the first time I got my patent, that was a really happy moment for me because getting a patent's not easy. Especially I was 23 at the time when I got my first patent. It was really exciting. I was like, wow, my first patent. Now I have 4 of them, so it gets kind of old after a while. First time I got one, I was really stoked. I was like, yeah. Because I think it's a really good representation. If you're a good engineer and you have a patent, it makes you a great engineer. That's my opinion.
Wow. And you've got 4 now.
Yeah, 4 of them. Yeah. So they don't do anything for you. Like they just sit online or in a plaque, but it's cool to know about it.
Walk me through of your day, like as a working day. Walk me through, like, do you work from home? Do you need to go to the office? How it works, your schedule?
Yeah, I work in the office 3 days a week. I'm in the office. 2 days I'm at home. I work in tech. I do hardware. So generally, my hours are very odd because I work with China and also with California. So my prime hours are normally 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., which is a really odd work schedule. So I try to get everything I need to get done early in the morning. So I have to do like chores or any activities. I do it between like 8 and 9 a.m. And then work is 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And it's pretty tough. It's tech. So it's a solid 12 hours. It's not like I'm just taking breaks. I work those 12 hours straight. I normally don't even eat in that time frame. if I can't because I'm too busy. So
Wow.
yeah, those days are pretty chaotic. Normally it's me working with my California team, China
Mm-hmm.
team, doing a lot of product development and manufacturing work, and it's very technical. You have to be a really, really good engineer to do the job I do. And I'm thankful because all my coworkers are exceptionally talented. And
Wow.
they feel like, when you're at a job and there's always that one person, you're like, how did you get a job here? Like, why are you here? I don't have that in my company. Everybody is exceptionally talented and belongs to be part of the company.
Amazing. Very good. I can see all of them watch the interview now and smiling with your beautiful words. Next question. Next question is the opposite of the previous question. What makes you the saddest?
The saddest, when people take advantage of me. I'm a very kind and caring person. I'll do anything to help other people. I find that I do get taken advantage of a lot because I'm so generous, and that really frustrates me. I don't like when people do that. This bothers
Totally.
me. A lot of people are like, you're too nice, don't do that. And I don't have a mean bone in my body. And especially living in San Francisco and California, there's a lot of people in tech and a lot of people who know how to be sneaky because they're smart. When you're smart, you can be sneaky. And sometimes I just fall for things and do things to help people and I end up getting used. And I don't like that. I'm trying to figure out how to balance that out in my life and make sure it doesn't happen.
And do you think nowadays you can spot that easily, or still you feel like
I'm
still a
so
lot?
bad at it. I
Yeah,
always think I'm best in people and always assume the kindest, and sometimes you can't do that. And I don't know how you do that. I never really figured it out.
but I think Adam, in the end of the day, it comes from a good place. You're doing your part. You know what I mean? I think when people they behave this way, they're making the biggest mistake. You know what I mean? Of course, you feel hurt, you feel left on the side, but if if you comfort you, just remember that you did a good thing. And it's gonna come back to you somehow in a bigger proportion. That's what I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. Karma. I love karma. I believe in it.
Absolutely. Ready for another one?
Absolutely.
Next question. Hey, Adam from California. Next question is, what is your funniest memory of a date that you had?
Fondest or funniest?
Funniest.
Oh my gosh. I was on a date once with this girl and it wasn't gonna work. And we were on the date, and I was just like, I really wanted this date to end. I was trying to end it, but she wouldn't let it end. And all of a sudden, I saw this woman chasing a dog down the street. And I'm sitting at the state, and I see this woman running past, screaming for her dog. And I was like, oh, this is an easy escape option. So I looked at the girl, I'm like, I'm going to help that woman get her dog. So I ran down the street to go get the dog. I ran for like 10 minutes, couldn't find the dog. So I came back to the date and I was like, hey, I think we should like close it up. And I was like, I found the dog. I got the woman her dog back. I think I'm gonna end the date. But before
Ooh.
that happened, the woman was walking back with her dog, and I told this girl I found the dog. I'm like, found the dog. And the woman comes back and she's like, thanks, I found the dog, but thank you for trying to help. I never found the dog. I just told the date that just to make her feel like I was a hero. Never found the dog. The woman found her dog, walked past, and was like, I found the dog, thank you. And then a date was like, I thought you told me you found the dog. And I was
Ooh.
like, I did. And she's like, no, you didn't. The woman just said she found the dog. So the ultimate story is I got called out real hard on that date. We never spoke again. But then 2 years later, on a flight from Texas back to Oregon, because this is from Oregon, the girl was on a flight next to me and she looked at me. She's like, aren't you the guy who lied about finding the dog on the
No
date?
way.
I was
No
like, oh
way.
my God, why are you on the flight with me right now for a 4-hour flight? And I was like, oh, I hate my life. Lesson
That's
learned.
about karma as well, yeah? Talking about karma.
That bit me in the ass real hard.
One person to go on a date with you, what this person must have?
Ooh, they must be self-deprecating. That's a very specific term, but I feel like self-deprecation is very critical. It means that you're willing to make fun of yourself in a fun way. Like you have to be not serious. Self-deprecation means like you can handle humor, you can handle like identifying funny stuff about yourself and revealing your positives and negatives and being very lighthearted about it. For example, I'm a small person and I understand that. So I always say I'm a compact king or a short king. I'm self-deprecating, but I keep it lighthearted. And I think that that's important when you are on a date, that someone is willing to acknowledge their pros and cons in a very easygoing way.
I like
You
that.
don't want someone to be like, I'm perfect in everything, because nobody is.
Totally. Next question, Adam. Let's do it. Next question for you is, if you could spend an entire day with a family member, who that would be and why?
I have two older sisters, and the middle older sister I'm very close with. So we spend a lot of time together. And my oldest sister knows that my middle sister and I are closer, and we spend a lot of time together. We're going on vacation together to Hawaii in July. So my poor oldest sister, she's super sweet, but she's married, so she's in a different stage of her life. My middle older sister's not married, so that's kind of why we're a lot closer.
What's the biggest difference between both of you and the biggest similarity?
Biggest difference is I'm very financially wise. My middle older sister, and you're talking about my oldest sister, or the middle sister.
The middle sister, the one you are closer to.
She's not really good with money. She knows that. She admits it. The biggest similarity is we're both very outgoing. We like to be involved in events, very social, very easy to talk to. We're engaging when we meet new people.
Amazing. Adam, I have 3 questions left for you. Let's do it.
Oh, no, they got it.
Before the next one, tell me what you like the most about being an engineer. What's the biggest joy of it? And the flip side, what's something that you find very challenging?
Biggest joy is you can change the world. As an engineer, you get to work on really new and cool technology. And the technology you work on can positively impact someone's life. When I worked in nuclear engineering, I was able to create novel ways to make power transfer safer, which is great for people, because if you have safer energy transfer, there's more energy going to people's homes and it makes the cost cheaper. Who doesn't love to save money and power? When I worked in footwear, I got to create new footwear that would help people feel more comfortable walking and running. And now in consumer electronics, I create a very well-known product that a lot of people use every single day. So I take great pride in that. It is one of the most popular products in the world. I won't say what, because I'm not allowed to mention my company, but it feels very powerful to know that I'm changing people's lives daily. And I see my product every single minute of the day, wherever I go, people holding it. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think I'm using this product right now.
There's a very high probability.
And what's the flip side, something that you find very challenging about being an engineer?
There's not always a solution. A lot of times when you work on new technology, it can be complicated. It could be not possible. As an engineer, your responsibility is to make the impossible possible. And it's very hard. It takes a lot of deep thought. It takes a lot of math. So like people are like, oh, math isn't necessary. True engineers most normally have to use math. Very math heavy, very chemistry heavy. It takes a lot of technical thought. And it's challenging now because as we hire, not necessarily in this company, but my previous job, during COVID, when we hired new college graduates, college engineering students cheated their way through college because with COVID, they took all their tests at home. So they would just Google the answers in their exams and they don't know the true engineering disciplines. So COVID really negatively impacted the future of engineering. So I really hope that that gets fixed very quickly, because when you have an engineer working on a product, they need to be intelligent. They can't use Google as a solution manual.
Wow. Amazing. I love your answer. My goodness.
Very strict about the engineer. Even when I interview candidates, like I'm a very sweet, caring person, but when it comes to data, I make sure they know what they're talking about.
Oh. Next question is, if you could stay any age for the rest of your life, what age that would be and why?
Oh, I feel like my prime was 26. I'm obviously not 26 anymore. I'm in my 30s. 26 was a fun year for me. I had landed my dream job at that time in my life. I had moved from the East Coast to the West Coast. It was a year of discovery, and I felt like I was just owning it. I'm still owning it now, but 26 was just a very pivotal moment in my life. I'd do it all over again. I'd stay 26 for life. Also, I feel like 26 is an easy age. You're not old, you're not too young. People still want to be friends with you. I think I call it the airline talk. When I was 26 and I was sitting in an airplane, the person next to me would be like, I want to talk to you. You're young. I want to feel young. Now that I'm in my 30s and flights, no one wants to talk to me. I'm an old man now. That's how I feel. I'm not old, but you know, when you're young and innocent, people want to know you. When you're in your 30s and 40s, you're just a person.
Aging for you is something that bothers you, or it's just a matter of life?
You know, I'm a young soul. I like to go out and party on weekends. I party in a clean way every weekend. I'll go to concerts and hang out with friends. But that's normally till 5 or 6 in the morning. This weekend they made sure to go to bed early so I can be on this call.
Oh.
But I normally stay out till 5 or 6 a.m. every Saturday, Sunday, and Fridays. When you're in your 30s, you tend to be the older person partying. Luckily, my friends don't all know I'm in my 30s. I've managed to keep that very hidden. I do look a little younger than my actual age. But I'm like, if one day it's going to catch up to me. And then they'll be like, Adam's in his 30s? What is he doing out partying? I went to a concert last night. I was definitely the oldest person there. Even at work and meetings, I tend to be the oldest person. I don't know why, but the engineers I work with are very young.
2 questions left. Let's do it, Adam. Next question is, if you could be in somebody's place, in somebody's skin, yeah, for 24 hours, who that would be and why?
Wow. Okay, it's gonna sound conceited, but Ryan Reynolds. I just feel like he's amazing. I have a huge man crush on Ryan Reynolds. Feel like everything he does just so fun loving. There's never anything negative about him in the media. Whenever I hear him like on TV or see him on YouTube or social media, I'm like, I just want to listen. It's Ryan Reynolds. Come on. And he's also a really smart businessman. He makes a lot of money through wise investments, doesn't just rely on his acting career, and I think that's really impressive. He's a smart man.
Very good. Ready for the last one?
Yep.
Last question, Ada. Let's do it. But before the last question, people watch the interview right now. Yeah, they would like to start a career engineer. They'd like to study engineer. What would be your best piece of advice?
Make sure you actually like it. There's a lot of people do engineering just because it is a very lucrative career. You could do very well financially as an engineer. A lot of people do it just for the money or the prestige, but they don't enjoy it. If you don't enjoy what you do, it's going to be a very challenging career. I always say make sure you're passionate about what you're doing. If you're not passionate, you're going to be working a job for your whole life, not a career. A job is you just go in, you do what you need to do and leave. A career is where it becomes part of your lifestyle, your energy, your identity. And you want to make sure that when you choose a career, it's something that you're going to wake up every morning and be like, hell yes, I want to do this. Just make sure if you're an engineer, that's how you feel.
And when was the moment that you thought, okay, I was born to be an engineer. I was born to follow this career?
It was definitely clear when I was a kid. Like I would, in my bathroom, mix this different shampoos together when I was 8 years old and create new formulas. And then I would go to school and try to sell these little cups that I made of mixed shampoos and tell people it's like a new shampoo I made. And then I got in big trouble at school for trying to sell shampoo. But I thought it was cool. I'm mixing chemicals together. It wasn't really chemicals. It was like just different hair products that my sisters and mom had. And I just loved science. I loved building stuff. I loved breaking things and then trying to fix them. It was pretty much my whole life. I wanted to be an engineer. I just didn't know what engineering was until I got to high school. Because you don't really learn about it as a kid. You think it's like somebody who drives a train. The train driver is the engineer. That's what you think of as a kid.
And what was the most challenging part for you, through college, through your career, that you almost give up, or you felt, okay, that's hard for me to kind of keep going?
Oh, there's something called influence. You want to influence the community. So as an engineer, and this is really hard for people to understand, and I still struggle through it. As an engineer, you're the key decision maker. You go into a meeting and you have to say, hey, we're ready to do XYZ because of this data or because of these results. And you want to influence your stakeholders to say, this person is confidently finding the solution and we want to move forward with this direction. As an engineer, it's hard to realize that you are the owner and that when you create a solution or find a way to do something through technical applications, you have to convince an audience that it's the right decision. And if it's not the right decision, it's on you. And it's really hard to accept it as an engineer, especially when you're young. You don't realize that your decision can impact many people if it's not done correctly. Now I understand that a lot. But when I was 22 working in nuclear applications, you don't realize that if you make a mistake, a power plant could explode and it's your fault.
Wow.
You want to make sure you're making very sound decisions and making sure your team and stakeholders trust your decision making. That's a very detailed answer, but that's the reality of it. So whenever I interview people to join my company, I always ask, how have you influenced someone based on a technical decision? Because you want to make sure that they're influencing the audience. Because if you can't hire an engineer that can't influence people, they're not going to survive. And they're not going to add any benefit to the company.
All right. Last question for you is, how describe a perfect, healthy relationship?
Mutual. Everything has to be mutual. I think a really great example is, I don't want kids. They're cute, they're fun to look at, and so like they're fun to take, play with, then return 5 minutes later when they start crying. But I think it's also important that whoever I marry, it's not just my decision, it's my partner's decision. So I think if I were to marry someone, to be like, hey, I don't want kids, but it's not just my decision. It's also your decision as well. And I think when you're in a relationship, it has to be a mutual decision, 50-50 on everything. And also in a relationship, you have to be prepared to cover 100% of the responsibilities as well. There are going to be times that your partner might not be able to carry the weight of the relationship. And you have to be able to step in and be like, hey, I'm going to take care of you. I'm ready to do this. Your partner can get permanently ill, permanently injured. You have to be in a relationship where you're able to say, hey, I'm going to stick through this with you the entire time, no matter how much burden it is on me.
Wow. Wow. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay?
Oh no, it sounds scary.
I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
One word for family.
Forever.
Money.
Variable.
I like this word. One word for love.
For what?
Love.
Timeless.
Life.
Enjoyable.
Sex.
Fun.
Politics.
Stressful.
Religion.
Internal.
Okay. Fear.
Necessary.
Friendship.
Lifelong.
Desire.
Passion.
Regret.
Recoverable.
Success.
Hard work.
Wish.
Excitement.
Happiness.
Healthy.
One word for New Jersey.
Trashy. And I'm very trashy. Like,
One word for San Francisco.
ooh. That's a good one. Evolving.
One word for USA.
Ooh. I have to be careful how I answer that one. I'll use the word opportunities.
Okay. And the last one now, engineer. One word.
Ooh. Creativity.
Let's pretend I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, tell me the most beautiful thing about Adam, and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What your best friend would say?
Oh, for the beautiful thing, I'm very optimistic. I always find the positives in things. I tend to not bring negative energy to any of my social settings, friends, family. People don't normally affiliate me with negativity. They're always like, Adam's very happy and jolly. My friend would say, Adam's a happy-go-lucky person. People just generally people will come to me if they want to have fun and be happy.
Wow.
And I'm not a negative person.
And something that's in your friend's point of view, you could improve or you could be better. What would be?
I tend to fall asleep at parties. Like, at social settings, if there's a couch, I will accidentally fall asleep. 100%. My friends are always like, Adam just falls asleep for no reason.
That's funny.
And they call me narcoleptic. I'm not narcoleptic, but I work really crazy hours. I work approximately 70 to 80 hours a week. So when I'm at social settings and I like to party on the weekends safely, sometimes I just take a little mini nap unexpectedly.
I think it's because you feel very relaxed that you are, enjoying, out of your work. You just get relaxed.
And music sound doesn't bother me. There could be an entire concert and I could still fall asleep.
Let's play now, Adam, and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. Hey, Adam, you can ask me a question now.
Got it. You currently live in London, but you said you're from Brazil. What made you move from Brazil to London?
Do you have another 2 hours to talk about?
Oh God, I got the whole day, and it's only 10 a.m. for me, buddy. You can go forever.
Right. Long story short, Adam, going back in Brazil when I was 12, 11 years old, I started studying English, and I always wanted to live in a country where I could speak English every single day. I've always been very passionate about the language. I remember back in Brazil studying English. I remember looking my books, and there was just pictures of Eiffel Tower, Big Ben, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'd love to be in those places one day. Back in Brazil, we have this, South America, we have this America dream. We have this, I want to live in the US. I want to live in New York City, in Florida. Long story short, I had the opportunity to move to Portugal in Europe. And after that, I have the opportunity to come to London, to England. And I've been here for the last 17 years now. And I meant to be in London. It's so funny how life takes you in a direction that you're not expecting, and you find your happiness there. And I must say, I live in a place where I meant to be. I love London. It's a beautiful place. And I live a dream because I speak English every single day.
Your English is perfect. I'm very impressed.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Have you been in London before, by the way?
I have a few times. So I love it. My favorite place in London is Piccadilly Circus. I really enjoyed that.
Oh my God, it's amazing. Yeah, Piccadilly Circus, it never stops. There's always something happening there.
Oh, it's so much energy. I really loved it. I was like, ooh, this is really fun.
Actually fits you very well because you're very energetic, that's the right place for you to be.
Yeah,
Did you enjoy the interview?
Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. You asked such insightful questions and you made me think. I interview people all the time from my company, and I'm like, I want to ask these questions now because they're way better than my questions.
Oh my God, talking, coming from an engineer, I feel so privileged right now. Oh my goodness, you made my day.
Thank you very much, William. Yeah, you made my day. This was a great way to kick off a weekend.
Thank you so much. And before you go, if you can share a positive message or something that you live by.
Oh, yeah. It takes less muscles to smile than frown. So it's actually easier to smile, and it takes more work to frown. So it's easier to smile, guys. You don't have to use as much energy. So you don't need
Amazing.
to have a frown on your face. It takes more work to be sad.
That's so true. That's so true. It takes more energy to be sad than be happy. That's what I believe.
Yeah,
Enjoy your weekend. Thanks so much. And you keep in touch. It was a pleasure. Okay. Thank you.
absolutely, William. Have a wonderful evening. Good
Bye
night.
bye. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.